for the strategy that we've created and invented. My name is Max Farrow, and I am one of the owners of Our City Investments. We built this company close to a year and a half ago, coming off of the rebound of getting screwed over by this industry. And if some of you that are here, you know what it's like to get screwed over in this industry. Money disappears, companies hold your money, there's leverage, there's all this BS that's out there for all these companies that are overseas in international buying areas. Coming off of that rebound, we knew that we had to build something powerful or find it, and we couldn't find it, so we knew that we had to build it. My partners and I just came off of building a huge platform for internet radio and marketing and solutions and programs and all these great, wonderful things. And we knew that if we were going to survive this, we needed to add in customer service, training that's going to be easy to follow and use, comprehensive platforms that we could take the complicated out of it and make them very simple. Okay, we built Dex indicators off of our sister company, DexSignals.com, because Dex Signals was really about providing people the availability to know the direction and help them figure out what the market was, how to use a new broker that we found that not really that new, but a broker that we had found that was extremely reputable, transparent, honest. They paid you, you got your money. You know, they had rules, they were regulated here in the United States, called Nadex, and that exchange has been a wonderful tool for us to be able to utilize to get to our goals, which is making money. Now, about almost 4 weeks ago, the beginning of October, the first week of October, we built Dex indicators because we knew that the indicators we were using to provide signals, provide ourselves with more fluidity to the market for us to be able to trade with, were working so well that why wouldn't I start training other people how to use it? We built our flagship support and resistance indicator and started to use it on all of our choke ups, our scalps, our 2020 trades, anything that we could physically use it on to help confirm a signal and a high-low level so we could get better pricing on Nadex. Now, once we started to use that, we knew that there were other things that we could build too. So we started sharpening up our skills with things like trend reverses, flag and pennant systems. So we just built probably about 6 really powerful indicators. Now, when we were originally looking for indicators, everybody and their mother's got something, right? And you go out there and you look at 97%, 95%, trade Forex and get 5,000 pips in a day. It's all BS, right? Any indicator can really help you if you know the rules of it and are patient and can follow it. Now, why would somebody who has an indicator network tell you that any indicator can work? Well, because most of the people can't follow those indicators. They don't know the training behind it. So we created some very powerful indicators and provide you training that's specifically for these indicators, okay? And they will help you understand the market, the values of the market, when to trade, when not to trade, and how to trade effectively. Now, any indicator can work for you to help you along the way, but it's not going to predict the future for you. Your strategy, your process, the way that you trade it's what's going to set your success rate. Okay, so when we built Dex indicators, we knew that we had to come up with a strategy as well as the indicators to be able to help you with. Now, we know when people first start learning to trade, they're gravitated to the quick money. Okay, everybody wants like you hear people say a 30 seconds or 60-second trade. Oh, I can trade 60 seconds. Okay, I can trade 5 minutes. Great. Do you have a good strategy? No, I just go in and I pick a direction. Okay, clock on the wall theory. Great for you. Okay, flip a coin theory. That strategy works great for people who love to flip coins and just take a guess at it. But let me tell you, if I could show you right now that there is an opportunity for you to get between 90 and 98.7, it's the highest we've gotten so far, out of 100 trades, would this interest you? Would this be something that, if you're learning to trade, or maybe you're already an advanced trader, that you would use to help guide you through your next stage? And nobody even needs to answer in there because everybody would say yes. The idea of what we've created was to take a very quick time frame, like the 5-minute trades that happen on Nadex, and provide you a strategy, training, and the indicators all in one. So you can have the quickness and the effectiveness to be able to trade on that process, because 5 minutes are hard. Okay, don't let anybody kid you. I'm not going to kid you either. I'm not going to disillusion you by making you think that, oh, this is going to be so easy. No, it takes a lot of discipline. We have some people in the room that can vouch for that. It takes a lot of discipline. And if you're not ready to do it, if you're not ready to really sit down and listen to the hard truths behind it, you might as well split now, because this really is not going to be for you. If you already think you know it all, if you already think that I don't need to learn how to trade from some guy who's just talking a bunch of nonsense, then this might not be for you. But I've taught thousands of people how to trade, and I've taught hundreds of people this strategy so far, hundreds. And they're learning in such a fashion that it's giving them their direction to their success. I can't say getting to their success yet. I had a couple people tell me they're successful now with it. But for me, seeing them being able to trade and do so effectively, that's true success. So let's get started. But before we do, start talking about money, right? Let's talk about the risk and earnings disclaimer. And this is what I'm going to do tonight. And I'm going to piss off all the lawyers that always tell them I'm not really happy with the lawyers this week. So blah, 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 blah. Educational trade assistance only, and all results may vary. It's that simple. Let's be serious. We are a group of adults that are trading. You're not all going to be able to do what each other does. And I'm going to show you some stuff in the results here, in customer results, my results, the company results, all that kind of good stuff. And it doesn't mean you're going to be able to do exactly that. You could go in and make 10 times more than we do. Maybe because you got a bigger balance. Or you might lose your money if you don't do it correctly. Now, you might follow everything we do and make mistakes and not make as much money as we do, and that's understandable. So all results may vary. I think I satisfied the lawyers. What do you think, Amy? All right, so what is the 5-minute full circle trade? Well, we're using the 5-minute binary on Nadex. Right on Nadex.com, there is right down the bottom here, you got all these great and wonderful tools and assets you can use. They created a 5-minute binary with 4 pair assets, right? And those assets are designed on the AUD USD, Euro USD, British Pound USD, and USD JPY. And they happen every 5 minutes around the clock. That's the beauty of it, right? 23 hours a day, from Sunday night, from 6 p.m. Sunday to 4 p.m. Friday, 23 hours a day with a break between 5 and 6 Eastern time. That's a hell of a lot of trades you have an opportunity in, right? Now, in order for us to be able to show you the strategy and show you the process and really get you into it, learning it takes discipline. And we're not only just going to tell you the rules, we're going to show you a way to keep a journal, to keep the process, how many trades you should make, and give you a structure, if you will. Not just throw something at your feet and go, okay, here, go take it and go work it off. Go figure it out yourself. We're going to be here for you the entire heck of the way. So let's get over some of the rules. Oh, by the way, why do we call it the 5-minute circle trade? Well, of course, it's 5 minutes, full circle, because when I originally started training people, I was training them with 5-minute binaries to help teach them how to get in and out of trades real quickly. But then I was telling them, don't ever trade these live because we don't have a good strategy for it. And people, you only win about 75 to 80%. And you need to be above 80 to break even with Nadex, just if you're buying them at $20 a piece. Some of you need to be above $82 and $83. Okay, so keep that in mind. So we've come full circle for this process, but the rules still remain the same. The biggest rule that we have is no news trading. Why? Well, because news sucks. Can anybody here predict the news? I'll wait. Anybody here? Anybody here? Because you're hired. I'll hire you in a second. If you can predict the news and be profitable with it, one, you wouldn't be here unless you're like in competition trying to figure stuff out. But let's be serious. I can't even predict the news. I'm a pretty damn good trader. I could do a good job at it, but it causes all my hair to fall out. It causes me to go crazy. So we tell you, don't trade the news. Half hour before a 2 or 3 bull, or an orange or a green that you'll see on Forex Factory, a half hour before and a half hour after, kind of let the stuff wash away, right? So we just tell you, don't trade the news. This saves you a hell of a lot of time. And if you got news that happens like 3 or 4 hours in a row, guess what? It's 3 or 4 hours. You come back 3 or 4 hours and you got 12 more times that very next hour after that time happens to be able to trade. You wait for a few things that happen. Now, every good strategy has an entry point to the strategy, to buying in. When do you get in? Well, you just don't, wait for an arrow, just any old arrow or any old thing. Okay? We've designed the system that when an arrow shows up on a 3 or 4 minute bar or an 8 or 9 minute bar, and this is the hardest part about the entire strategy, is knowing how to trade with this process, right? Because we're trading on an M1 chart. That means that every one of these bars is 1 minute. So on the 3 minute bar at 03 after the hour, or 13 minutes after the hour, or 14 minutes after the hour. You see where this is going? You see the pattern? So 13, it's 3, 13, 23, 33, 43, 53. Okay? Everything that ends with a 3. Maybe that's how I should put it on. An arrow that ends with a 3 or ends with a 4. Maybe that'll help. And you know what? I've been doing this webinar now for quite some time, and I just thought of that. So any bar that ends with an 8 or ends with a 9 as well has now become your indicator, your signal to get into the trade. Now, once that happens, you're going to use the SR level, the support and resistance level that we provide, because we provide 2 indicators with this system, a trend reverse system and a support and indicator, or support and resistance indicator. Now, both of these systems are unique to our company. So you can find other things like them that have sort of the same name to them, but they both have been tweaked to help you gauge and gain as much leverage as you possibly can within this market, especially for Nadex. The trend reverse system has been built directly for Nadex for the reversal value of this process, and where it applies the 3 and 4 minute bar, at, the bar that ends with 3 or 4 minute. Okay. So once we use a support level that's either above or below, depending on the direction, or you can also use the tip of the arrow. Okay. So when the arrow comes out, you can use the line, because you know how to use MetaTrader 4, or most of you do, that you can actually gauge, over on the right-hand side. You can't see it on this graphic here, but I'll show you here in a minute on a live chart, that you'll be able to use it at the level that, because remember, the up and down is time, or the up or it's left to right is time, and the up and down is price. So the horizontal lines mean that these are different price levels. So the price level that's at the tip, or you can use the one that's a red SR level, which is right up here. So either one. So this is a little bit more risk. This has a little more fluff, but you might not be able to get into a good price on Nadex if you're always using the SR level. Now, one thing we also have to keep in mind on the system is that we use spot Forex. Now, I won't get into too much direction with this. You'll get a lot of this information in training. But basically, we're going to add 2 pips to the arrow or the SR level, depending on which one we're using, because there's usually a 1.5 to 2 pips difference on the higher side for Nadex than it is on spot Forex. So being that we're using a spot Forex process, we'll just add 2 pips to this. So if this was 104.13, we would add 2 pips to it on the high side, so it'd be 104.15. On the buy signal, we don't need to add the extra ones on, but if you wanted to gain a better price, you could. But it's the same process. Arrow comes out, you can use the SR level or the tip of the arrow, depending on how much risk you want to provide to the process. How many times can you trade with this system? Well, there's 12 5-minutes in an hour, right? Plus the 4 pairs. There are 48 opportunities per hour. But let's be real, we're not going to trade 48 times an hour. We're not going to trade 12 times an hour. You're probably really only going to be able to get into 4 or 5 really good trades that'll happen that time, because remember, there's rules. Now, also, the arrows themselves aren't what we call current arrows. They don't come out on the actual 3-minute. They actually come out 1 minute later on this bar here. Right after the bar ends, it will place an arrow, because what it's done is it's confirmed what we refer to as a trend reversal at that point. Once it confirms that point, it puts an arrow back where you need to use the SR level at. Okay? Because if this arrow appeared on this bar, it would actually appear right around here, and it wouldn't be an effective result of your strike price. So we put it on the one we want you to keep it at. And they're very, very accurate. You'll see that here inside. Now, during this time of learning how to trade, In the very beginning, you're going to trade a whole bunch of times and fast because you just want to get to know how to use a system, right? And so once you start learning that, you're going to start slowing. Once you get to like 100 trades, we'll go over how many here. But once you get to a certain amount of trades, you're going to back that down some. You know, we have some traders that did 100 in their first 3 days, and then they took a week to make the next 100. And now they're like, I think this is going to take me like a month to get to this next 100, and I'm going to make 5 times as much money. Why? Because we used an algorithm and an equation that we made called CVG. Some of you have heard of this. Consistency plus volume equals goal. And holy crap. I apply, this is like allspice to me, right? I put it on everything. You know, everything in my life consists now of that consistency. Once I find consistency in my life, I either add volume, right? Because I want to reach a goal. Now, this doesn't mean on how many trades you do, because if I'm trading, say, 10 times a day and I can only trade 1 contract at a time, I'm making about $200 a day, right? Now, if I want to make $400 a day in anybody else's system, you got to do 20 trades, right? But no, I'm going to actually do the same 10 trades, but I'm just going to add, instead of 1 contract, 2 contracts, right? And I'm making an average of $20 per trade. Now I've made $400 for the day. Same 10 contracts or same 10 trades. Didn't do any more work. Probably didn't work any longer than I would have any other time. Okay? You want to make $800 in a day? If your balance can handle it, do the same 10 trades with 4 contracts. $1,000, 5 contracts. You guys see where this is going? Now, this is the glory part of it, right? This is the awesome part. This is where, you know, everything has a wonderful icing on it, right? Oh, I want to make $10,000 in a day. Yeah, let's be real. Your balance won't handle that. Okay, let's snap you back to reality for a second. Okay, the first round that you're going to be doing, and we call it the GSR round. This is not gunshot residue either. This is called your gross success rate. And your gross success rate is really about learning how to get in and out of the trades. So if your first 100, you get only about 80 correct, you're on the right path, right? Because if there's times you're going to be making mistakes, you're going to pick the wrong direction, you're going to make a mistake, right? You might get into the wrong time frame, you might be, you know, whatever might happen. You might jump the gun, you might pump it up too many pips, you might push that ratio a little bit. And because you're going to be sharing, and we're going to show you how to share your journal with us and how to make a journal with us and share that information with us so we can guide you. So I can look at your trades, or the senior traders can look at your trades, and we're not going to judge you, but we're going to help you. We're going to help guide you. Judging is a thing of the past, right? Nobody here can be judged. Not any one of you in there should ever be judged by anybody else that's in the system by what you're doing. Because we're all here to have one major goal, and that's become successful. Yours might be a little bit different than mine. It might be just a money value. But we're going to help you get there. Now, that first 100 trades is going to get you a success rate. 80 to 98% is a good number, right? And yeah, 98%, hella good number. Okay, anything over 80, you're rocking it. You're killing it, right? Because you're above your break-even module. You're above now you're making some money. And what do you do? What do you do at this point? Once you get to your 100 trades, you got through your 100 trades, you're really figuring this stuff out. You practice on demo, you really got it down, you've nailed this thing. You do another 100 trades, right? Why don't you go live? Oh, come on, let me go in, I'm ready. No, get it down to where it becomes so ridiculously easy to do. Because one thing you're doing as well is that in another 100 trades, you're learning how to lose. Yeah, I know that one's tough, right? Because nobody here likes to lose. But you're going to have to learn to lose. Because this system has to have losses in it. It has to have losses in it. You can't scalp out for the loss. You can't cheat your trade out. You have to learn how to get them to expiry. You have to learn what ones work to expiry and how you have to start ingraining. The system starts to ingrain itself on you. I talk to most of our senior level traders that have really gotten through this, and now they're starting, they tell me things like, I'm starting to feel when I know they're going to start going wrong, when it starts to go wrong, but I don't want to touch it, and then it bounces back. I see that, and then it goes, so I can never really get it, but I'm not feeling the loss anymore. I'm not feeling that pain anymore. I've become calloused in a way, right? I teach you some tricks in there on like not using the color red, and there's hey, listen, trading is psychological. Who here thinks that trading is not psychological? You can't make it technical. You can't make it just creative. It's one part creative and 10 parts technical and 4 more parts creative added again to it. And then you add the psycho into it, and it's, you're chasing trades, you're trying to revenge trade, you're trying to do all this stuff. I'm going to teach you how to avoid those things, to become almost Zen-like when you trade. Round 2, after you do those 5 contracts, now you're going to get into your net success rate. And this one's really important because this is the one you can start really kind of honing yourself in on. That you're following the rules, you're not cutting corners and skipping things out. You're really starting to feel a connection with the process, being able to get in, look at it quick, get in and get out, get in and get out. Know when not to get in is another thing. Avoiding news, being okay avoiding news. Okay, you'll learn how to share, you're sharing your results with us. And this success rate should be plus 90%. If you're not plus 90% in there, you're still making money. If you're between 80 and 90, you're making money. If you're not plus 90% in your second round of trading on these contracts with 5 contracts trading in that process, then you're having an issue. We also have a consult button on the site, and at periodic times, you start getting to a ratio. If you're finding yourself really failing in it, like, oh man, I lost 5 in a row. How's that happen? Then we need to sit down and really kind of figure out where you're going wrong at, because this system doesn't lose 5 in a row like that. Not if 1, you're avoiding the news, and 2, you're following the rules and you're following this process. If you're really honing in on your interdiscipline, you should not be losing 5 and 6 in a row. You should be losing 1 every 10, maybe 20 trades at the most. Okay, let's go have a look at it. Now, some of you have seen my screen that looks like this. I call it the 4 square. Okay, you'll see a bunch of arrows and a bunch of lines. The main system here is real simple to look at. The arrows, when you have your crosshair, which is up here, or your mouse wheel, at the end of the minute, so this one's 222, 221 right there, but this is my server time that's on my broker, okay? So don't really pay attention to the first couple letter numbers. You're only looking at the last digit. So when you find a 9 or an 8, like this one was the actual signal, okay? This one had 213, so it's a 3. So there's a 3 number. This one we would have taken a signal on. We could have used the tip or the SR, depending on what was on Nadex, to be able to get, okay? I used the 4 square to kind of help gauge me on the process, right? Just kind of looking, there's one for the 0 hour, so not that one. So we really don't have any. But the cool thing is that these support levels, everything that you hover over, if you hover over the arrow, okay, it's going to give you a little pop-up box, 10436. I'm going to tell you because that's right at the tip of the arrow. If you hover over any of the lines, it's the Dex SR. You'll see 10401. And just so you know, we're only using the 2. Okay? So a pretty powerful system with just 2 indicators. How many of you know that? Now, the other thing too is that later on you can add stochastics and other things like EMAs and stuff to help you. But listen, the more you add, the more confusing it is. The more filters you might apply to yourself, right? Because if you can get to 98%, what the hell are you doing trying to filter that? You need it better than 98%? So the power is already inside of you. You already have the opportunity to really make this work because the system's here. This is being used not just by myself, because you get a lot of those places, right? They're all out there, right? Okay, so here's one real quickly. I'm going to do this live, and again, please bear with me. This one is in a little bit of a downtrend happening right now. So I'm going to use 1.2237, 2237 British gold pound USD, 2237 right there. Now we don't have an opportunity to buy in at 2237 because it's sort of jumping back up. But what I'm going to do, wait, there we go. Can I get in there? Can I get in? Can I get it? No. Dang it. I'm going to do $78. I'm going to put that right there because it's jumping all over the place. Now, what I did here is I did a working order. Now, in this working order, I put it at $78. It'll give me $22 profit margin. Because when you put it at 78 on a buy, that's how much you're risking. And then the opposite of 100, the void of the 100. So $22 is what you'd be making a profit. If you don't know what Nadex is, if you've never traded Nadex, don't worry. Inside the system, we have Nadex Ninja that'll teach you everything you need to know on how to use this system in there. I only keep the working order on to just under 2 minutes, so we'll pop back in a second. Two, two, three, six. So yeah, this one could kind of rattle our bones just a little bit. So what I'm going to do, because it's dropping down below that deviation, I'm going to pull off of this trade here, just like that. And this was just a real quick look at it, seeing that this deviation, it's already falling down below here. Okay, so it could be just in another, line to go down. Do I take a high risk trade against the micro trend? The answer is no. Look at this. I have a nice little micro trend happening here, right? 1, 2, lower, lower, lower. And if it busts past this one, it could be doing one of these numbers and then correct. Who knows, right? But I ain't going to take a chance it's just going to plummet at the moment. So I'm not going to get into it, right? A novice would have probably said, yeah, I'll stick with it because it's a signal. Me, I'm telling myself that because it's below the deviation of that support level, and this is where the arrow is, I'm already down below that, I'm not going to chance it, even though that it's got some good potential to make good money on it. Even if it could do that, right? All right. So you learn these things inside, and that's what helps get you through all these extra processes that try to cut you out and try to take your money and because that's what you're really doing to yourself. You know that, right? When you risk more, when you try more, you're just cutting yourself out of your money. You're cutting yourself out of your learning. So you have to learn how to keep yourself in check, let's say. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Let's get back over to the webinar. All right. So basically, oh, sorry. So the basic system, as you've seen, that's on the site comes and comprises of two actual indicators. Let me get back in here. And over on our DEX indicators site, this is where the strategy is housed. Once you become a member, a paying member, you'll be able to see, because you can see this under a free member. So if you're a free member, you can see this right now, but you can't see the training. Okay, you'll see some of the stuff, but you won't be able to download the actual indicators, and you'll see some of the training in. You won't see any of the training. But once you become a member and you buy in, you'll be able to see it all here, and it has some great explanation in here for the process and what it all is. Okay, when you buy into who we are and what we're trying to do, you have to understand you're not just buying in for one indicator. You're paying a monthly fee for everything we have. The training, the indicators, and anything new that we bring in as far as indicators. Because right now we have only a handful, it's not even a little bit more than a handful. We have 6 mainline indicators, and I'm even keeping our advanced indicators open as of right now, just to kind of give some of you. So while you're getting in, the getting's good. You got opportunity to get into the advanced indicators as well. And of course, we have another strategy as well in the 5 minutes, which I'll show you at the end of this seminar, how easy it is to enact the intraday DEX intraday strategy. It's too crazily simple, right? We also have our DEX daily signals in an indicator as well here too. So if you're used to using those, some great power. Plus also the DEX trend and the DEX support resistance. So there's a lot of stuff in here. We have a DEX pivot system. We have a DEX flag and pennant system that's really super powerful, especially with using it for Forex, as well as what we're finding for spreads on Nadex. Yep, we're devising a strategy for spreads on Nadex using the DEX flag and pennant. And I think it is the second most powerful thing I've ever built. I just have to have time to test it all, right? That's why my account balance is always up and down. It was up to $37,000 the other day, and I was testing a bunch of stuff with, mass contracts, and knock it down to 23 and then bring it back up to 25. So now I think it's back down to 24. But just so you guys know that this is not the only thing I test out. All right. So what else do you get inside the system? Well, you get all the training, of course. Okay, you get all the training for the indicators, and it's all right here. And if you've ever done business with us before, if you've ever done business with Dex Signals, or maybe you've never even heard of us before, that's okay. I provide very easy to use training because I've been down that path before. How many of you have ever been down the path to where you get to a place that touts that, hey, I'm going to teach you how to use a strategy, and it's like a 2-hour webinar, and you're like, okay, I just absorbed the atlas, right? And it's usually by somebody who either has like a speech impediment or an issue, or they have poor quality in the sound or something, right? And you get to going, okay, I just watched that 1-hour video. Now let me go test it out and try some stuff out. And you try like 1 or 2 things, and then all of a sudden you go, wait a minute, what was I supposed to do after the one bar goes up and then I go down and I got 16 indicators in between? What do I do after 15 indicators on there? And then you got to go watch the 1-hour webinar. In our system, it's very easy to navigate, okay? And it tells you what it, on what you're doing. Install the Dex indicators, how to install it on a Mac, setting up an email notification, keeping a journal, very simple stuff, right? And the webinars themselves are easy to see because, or the videos are easy to see because it's just the video. And if you click on this video, they're never really more than 5 or 6 minutes long. Because if I can't teach you one little bit in 5 to 6 minutes, then I have a problem. Then I'm just showboating. Then I'm on a webinar, right? Our webinars last about an hour, but I hope you get some information from them. All right, so what else do you get inside the system? Well, right behind the scenes, as soon as you log in, free or otherwise, you get Trader's Mind, which is another 5-minute training process. Okay, it doesn't use the strategy that you see that we're using tonight, but it has another system to help train you on Nadex. Okay, but again, there's a lot of other things in here that, the Trader's Mind pathway, preparing your journey, teaching you how to find out who the trader is inside of you first. So it might be a good thing to go in and test out and have a look at. If you don't know how to use MetaTrader, we're going to teach you how to use it in here. Okay? If you don't know how to use Nadex or know how to navigate it, you've got your back covered with a whole bunch of training in here for that. Right? Also, up top, there is book a consult. What does this mean? Well, you get to talk to me personally. Right? We got the phone number on the website. We got chat that's right down here in the right-hand corner. We just have a ton of stuff. So if you're unsure, right? You're just trying to figure out, what do I need to do next? You can talk to a lot of people in the industry, and you'll find that for us, for some of you, you're going to have to try to learn that this is the right thing for you. And by maybe your second week into really training this and maybe 2 or 3 consults with me, I'll even be able to hear from you whether or not it's going to be right for you. And I've had to tell some people no that I don't think trading's good for them. And they appreciate the honesty because, listen, I'd rather, if I'm going to help save you or help save your idea of what you're trying to build, I can't save everybody, but I can help as many people as I can. My biggest thing is to be honest with you if I feel you can do it or not. But it doesn't take much to do. It takes the discipline. You got to know a little bit about computers, and you have to be disciplined enough and okay enough to follow rules. Okay? So there's a lot of stuff inside. Also, the webinars that we do every night. And then we have a webinar archive system. So if you miss one, if you want to see some other stuff, we also have some results. Let me show you a couple of those real quickly. Now, they're not in this section here, but let me show you just a couple real quick. Oh, here's mine. Okay, so right before the webinar started, I did two trades, right? Now, let's just pretend, because I know that it's demo, right? But demo for Nadex, they're exactly the same, live and demo, okay? Exactly the same, to the price point, everything. So before anybody tells you, well, if it was really live, you would probably win more the money. Bullshit. I'll call bullshit where I see it. Okay. Now I use demo when I do these webinars. I do trade live. Okay. But let's be serious. I'm not going to be distracted with all these. I'd be going against everything I teach you. So here in the webinar tonight, right before it at 1841, which is 6:41, right? We get here a little early for pre-questions and stuff like that. So from 1841, 6:41, we did 5 contracts, did 91 bucks, right? 5 minutes later, we did another one, but it didn't pick up all 5, so it only did 1 contract. Then I just let it be. I didn't even keep the working one on the other 5 because I felt it might go against, but I kept it on there, right? So in a period of 10 minutes, made 108 bucks. Now let's just pretend. Let's just pretend my day is so packed that I don't have a lot of time, and I only have maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours a night to be able to trade. And let's say I do this. I just spent 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes spotting out the perfect trade. Okay? And I take this time to find that perfect trade. Hang on one second. Whew, I had to sneeze my brains out. I think it's coming. Yep. Oh, I know what you meant, David M. I know. I know what you meant. But let's just say I make that 108. Maybe I make that 108 bucks every night. Right? Now I'm trading times 20 nights. Right? Are you guys actually seeing it now? So I'm trading 20 times $108. Right? This is just 2 trades. This is 2 trades with a total of what was there, 6 contracts, so an average of 3, right? That was there. If I would have traded the other one, I would have made like 180 bucks at that point. So even if let's just say I did that, and I did something like that, right? The opportunities are endless here because you have your balance is what protects you. We teach you how to do risk balance. We teach you how to do risk management, money management, that whole scenario. But we also teach you how to not circumnavigate, but reverse engineer what you physically need to make per month to help you figure out what you need to do per day. See, a lot of traders get mixed up with, well, I didn't do 50 trades a day because I could only do 1 contract and that equals $20, and so that I really can't make a lot of money with this. You can't make a lot of money with this? I don't get it. Here, I'll show you something else. So this is a gentleman. His name is Michael. I think he's even in the chat room right now. Came and learned this system on October 17th, and I'll show you what that looked like. Came here October 17th. In 3 days, 3 actual trading days, did 100 trades and did 98 and 2, and did $2,147. Okay, you're only doing 1 contract a piece, so let's be real. Came back in, did another 100 trades because that only took 3 days it only took from the 17th to the 19th, so 17th, 18th, and 19th. At the last part of the 19th, he did that many trades. He did something like 14 or 15 trades, 12 trades at the end of the day, then went on to do another 100 trades over a period of 4 or 5 days. Okay, and I'm still scrolling, right? And then 97 and 4, so 101. But look at this number; it's incredible. We don't fake results here, by the way, either. There's no reason for us to. We're comfortable in our own success. We're just trying to help as many people as possible. So don't think that we're here to try to trick you. I'll be quite honest with you. I can't stand companies out there like that. And those people that want to just snub their nose at every little thing out there, that's completely, it's just proven the point on why we're here. We came in this industry to provide a safe zone for people to trade and to learn. And that's what we're doing. But part of the learning is seeing the results of others that actually can do it. Okay, these are real people, but $9,589. And he started on the 19th. So what is that, 5 days, 4 days total trading, 3 days total trading to this point? Okay, so he did 97 and 4 on that point. Now he's back in again, but I want you to see something. It's not as many trades. Why not? It's not as many trades because he's slowly getting into that point where it's more about taking your time, picking the right one, getting into the right process. These were done here. Look at this. This is just tonight, right? This is just tonight, even during the webinar. Right, 2 minutes before the webinar started, he started doing them. Look at this. You guys see this? I did the same thing for you. That's crazy. Okay, but this is your proof. This is your process. I don't even know how much is it for tonight. This is. Let me see how much this is right here. Right there. $323 in the webinar alone. Just in the webinar, just trading in the webinar. Can you do that? Hey, Will, I appreciate that. Now, I'm not saying that Apex investing is not legitimate, but I can tell you one thing. They do have a very complicated system. And it's for some, as I asked the owner many, many years ago, why is it so complicated? And he says it needs to be. Helps keep other people out. Okay? We are here to help, but we can only help you if you want it. So that's what it really comes down to. So you've seen some results, you've seen some trading done, you've seen some other things. Let me pop over. Oh, you know what? Did we ever? I don't remember. Didn't we get into one? Did we get into one? See, this is the problem. This is why I can't trade during webinars. I'm so tired from all the stuff we're building. It's been a very long day. Hang on one second. It looks like it didn't fill, but that's okay. It didn't fill. That's all right. All right, so we've looked at the process, we've looked at the system. The process here for the indicators itself is $147, right, a month. But that includes all the training, all the process, unlimited bookings, unlimited training, whatever you need. We also have some other things that are coming out that a trading, what we call a trading station, that you won't even need the MetaTrader 4. We're removing the MetaTrader 4. We're going to keep the MetaTrader 4 here on Dex Indicators, but we have a trading station coming, which is pretty cool because you'll be able to go directly to it, and it'll give you, the signals that you get inside the system here for the 5-minute strategy for Dex Indicators. But you can also update or upgrade your process in here to get signals over from Dex Signals as well. Isn't that wild? This is what I've been working 16, 17 hours a night on, a day on with my family and our other programmer friend that just came on, John Bottling, John Bottling. I always mess his name up. But this system, when it comes out, is going to be $147 alone for itself. That's not including this. Okay, so this one system is going to be $147. And this is coming out in over the next week, okay? Now this is going to be 147, and Dex Indicator is going to be 147. But every person that's a customer, or every person that comes in tonight, okay, you're going to save $50 off of this price, and you're going to get this for free, or as long as we have it. For every customer that's on board. Why would we do that? That's crazy stuff, right? The reason why we're doing that is because every person that comes in and has paid to get to this point, you're who helped build this. Because every penny we use to build our stuff. Isn't that sick? I make money trading. Other people make money trading. The thing is working. The proof is there. What else do you need? Now, the 3 or 4 people that are here that you may have questions, okay? Everybody that's here after the fact or watching this in a second part of the webinar, I want to thank you for taking the time. Make sure that you use that Dex 50. I drew all around it, I'm sorry. But Dex Save 50, it'll save you $50. It'll be $97 for your first month, okay? And trust me, it's going to be worth every penny for you at $147. I can guarantee you that, okay? If it's not, let's talk. If you get into a jam, you need an extra month, let's talk. I'm not afraid of doing that for you folks. But we have to get this party moving, because as soon as we build Dex Station, we've also gotten in control of the API. We're now looking at also adding the Nadex API to the system in there, as well as IG.com, which is the mother of Nadex. Okay, is also being, we're going through it as well to bring it on board to train how to use it. And for all you overseas people that are watching this after the fact and we're getting this out to you, you're going to want to be there. You want to shed all that BS binary option crap from overseas and just work with, Nadex and IG.com at this point. And we don't get a cent from them either, by the way. So just keep that in mind. So for everybody who's watching this after the fact, thank you so much for hanging out with us. And I really do hope to see you inside. Take charge of your life. Become a leader of one. I don't know what other Tony Robbins thing I could say right at the moment, but do well, right? Have fun and trade well. I'm Max Farrell, and this is DexIndicators.net. Everybody else, stick around. We got questions and answers.